Hi, this is Curt and welcome to another edition of Fire Law Roundup.
Okay, let's see. We've hit California twice. We've hit Florida. Let's come right back up to down in my area. Let's go to New York. This is a lawsuit. Again, everything I'm going to state is an allegation, not a fact. I don't know how many times we can say that, but I know.
Oh, just keep saying it. Just keep saying it because somebody will miss it.
Yeah, no question. So we're going to go to Peekskill, New York. This is in west or eastern New York in the Hudson Valley region. For people who know, we have a firefighter. Now, this is a paid fire department civil service exam, right? So when you take a civil service test to be brought on the job, you take a civil service test to be eligible for promotion. And I'm giving this as background, not that it's right in this case, but the civil service has what's called the rule of threes in New York. You have to take the three highest candidates, or the candidates with the three highest scores. So there's a lot of discretion that's removed by law in who you hire. However, once you are all within the same scores, now there is a subjective basis for hiring and for, in this case, promoting, and it's the subjectivity that's always going to get us into trouble. So here's what we have. We have a Peekskill firefighter, paid firefighter. He says he's been passed over 3 times for a promotion from firefighter to lieutenant. And then he also claims retaliation, which I'll talk about. But he is I believe, is he a Middle Eastern descent? He doesn't say Muslim. He just says Middle Eastern descent, and noticeably so through skin color. He claims he has been passed over, and they use the term objective, which is smart on the lawyer. He was passed over in favor of, quote, objectively less qualified non-Middle Eastern candidates, for all of whom white Irish American individuals. I can't imagine they're all Irish, but in the fire service, look, we're all Irish.
Irish
Except the Italians, who I don't want to get the hateful email. Nonetheless, they said, he says, I've been passed over. And so here, as you and I have said, maybe 1 million, 2 million times, it's hard to count. But I am hoping, and we'll get more into the allegations, but I am hoping that they have objective criteria why they chose these individuals. And that's what's going to come forward. So everybody who has a hiring or promotional process, if you're asking subjective questions to everybody and you don't have an objective measure, where I like the point system, we're going to give you X points for years of service, X point, right? Whatever your matrix is, even though the giving of points might be somewhat subjective, right? But years and positions held, they're objective. So here, I hope, for the sake at least of the fire department, that they have an objective way to prove, okay, we took these firefighters in lieu of the Middle Eastern appearing firefighter, and here's why we did so. One time, your fire department's probably not going to lose. 2 times, yeah. 3 times, you better explain yourself, Lucy, right? You got some explaining to do. So in addition, this person also claims that as he made some complaints, he was retaliated against in terms of assignments. We got less favorable, less desirable tasks. I should have gotten more desirable ones. I have seniority. He claims that he was denied certain awards and recognitions, and that's kind of a spiral, right? Well, these people got awards, so they got the lieutenant position. You didn't get an award, so you don't get the lieutenant position. And then you say, but I should have gotten the award. You were just, discriminated. And then finally, you have the, which I do want to talk about more. He claims, we see this a lot, I was injured on the job. We see this all the time. I was injured on the job and you denied me benefits. And that's where I want to pause for a second and question. In a department, when somebody is injured, why is the fire chief or anybody else in the middle of the department? I'm not saying that's what's happened here. I'm asking the question. Why is the fire chief or anyone in the department making a determination of whether it was an on-the-job injury or not, right? The department should provide the facts and investigatory results. This is what we were doing. This is how we were injured. This is the video or the witnesses. This is what we saw, right? But the department shouldn't be directly and isn't usually the one making the determination of whether it's a comp-based or, on the job injury. Maybe in a big department, it's HR. In the small departments in some states like New York, it would be the workers' comp board would make a determination.
Well, I can answer that, but I don't want to answer it in the context of this case because I have no idea.
Yeah, let's do a general.
I'll answer it in the context of my experience, because they think the person either got hurt in their part-time job and dragged themselves to work and now is claiming a work-related injury, okay?
Which happens.
Or they're a phony, okay? That there really is no injury. They're mad about not getting promoted, or they're mad about this, or they're mad about that.
Or they think they're going to get fired anyway.
It's not a real injury.
Right.
But as you properly point out, it's not, you can't be going on your chief experience when it comes to medically related types of things. We want to do an investigation and get witness statements and all that from people who either saw it or didn't see it, or we want to have a private investigator go figure out, did he get hurt, doing his carpentry job or some other job or off the department. Go ahead, get the expert, go do that. But don't sit in the office and say, yeah, I think Verone's lying. I don't think he really got hurt, and therefore we're going to turn him down.
Right.
So now, again, I don't know if that's what happened here. Okay. But I will say the fact that he got passed over 3 times on the rule of 3, and they're busting his agates here on the work-related injury part suggests that possibly the chief's perspective on this guy is that, he's not a favored son. And, he's worn out his welcome maybe, or whatever, but certainly doesn't seem like he's being treated as somebody who's on the A team. Whether it's justified or not, that may be an entirely different thing.
Right. Right. But I guess to say it this way, he's going to make it past a motion to dismiss, and you're going to be put in front of a jury more likely, or someone else to say, are you right or not?
Yeah.
So, okay. But again, I go back to, and I'll end here just reciting that when you hire, don't hire. When you promote, I hope you're not just making up promotional processes. I hope you have an objective point-based system. I like point-based systems.
Well, most of them, I will tell you, most of them on the rule of 3, they don't. Like, the chief likes this guy, I'm going to go with this guy, or the chief likes that guy, we're going to go with that guy. And they don't really have that kind of within the civil service system. Like, you have the civil service system, but once you get into like that best of 3, a real formal process for doing it. The safest thing to do is just the guy who's number 1 gets it. That's the safest bet. But you're right. I mean, you want to have some sort of an objective process to.
And the reason we don't is because, look, most of the fire service is white males. I'm not going to say white Irish males, right? I'm Jewish, but white Irish males, white Italian males, white males. That's most of the service. So when we're doing a promotion, we're never concerned with, I'm going to discriminate against one white male with another white male. But you throw a female or a minority in the mix, now it changes, and it forces you to change the process. We have seen cases, and I think this is why we have seen cases where, and I'll end with this, but this is a really important point. We have seen cases where the person who's discriminated against claim, well, they just changed the process when I came in it. They used to do a different process, right? And now they have this new process. But the reason they've changed it is because someone realized, wait a minute, they're not all white males coming up for promotion now. We need a more fair process. However, you don't want to be in the position of somebody saying you changed the process just because I was coming through the promotional process. So do it now, create a new system now. And, these are not easy. This is not for, high school or college grad people. Creating promotional exams, promotional systems, which are not, biased in any way, that takes a master's or PhD level person. Don't just create it. You spend some money now, and you won't spend money later defending your bad process.